So another way you can develop the body of your car is we'll use a form tool. So we'll create a form now. So you still got your block and regulations template, and I've just got another sketch in here, which is just an outline of roughly where I want my car design to go. So we probably won't use it for anything except for just as a guide. So I'm going to create a form, and I guess the neat thing is you've got a few different, primitive shapes which you can use to create your car with your car body from this list. What I'd recommend is probably something like a cylinder. So I'm going to start on this back face here, and we know how big the cylinder housing has to be. So 19 plus 3 mil on either side gives us 25. Don't forget, give yourself some tolerance. 26 mil would be as small as I would go. So 26. And then we can create a cylinder as long as we need it to go. Now, this cylinder, you can choose whether it's, you can drop the number of diameter faces. And if you do that, it will make the shape less round. So if I go 6, 5, 4, you can start seeing it starts to square up. So it squares itself up if you do that. So I think 8 works fine. I believe it at the default 8. It's probably more than you really need, but and the height faces, so this way, gives you 4. That's probably a little bit more than what we really need. We get away with 2, I reckon, or like a 3, so 2 lines around the middle. In this case, having a line of symmetry is worthwhile. If you don't put it on now, you can always apply it later. So I might go, if it lets me do a mirror, that way. So with a green line, sort of mirrors whatever I do on this side to this side. And okay. Now, it's obviously nowhere near what I want it to be, but this is where we get to sort of grab it and move it and control it. So I'm just going to grab this face out here. Sure why it's selecting my modify, and I'm just going to grab this and drag it down, and I'll spin around and I'm just going to squeeze it to make it as pointy as I can at the front. I'll grab this face and bring it forwards. And it's just about, it does take a little bit of getting used to this tool in terms of learning which surfaces to grab and manipulate. Don't forget we need to keep our cylinder housing enclosed, so I'm just going to bring that up. I might make that one just generally a bit bigger, and I might just make it a bit more oval. I'll bring that one down. It's a lot bigger than I need it now. So I might just squish it back down again. This one can keep getting small. So what I found is, if I don't adjust the height on it, if I do it this way, it sort of squashes it in a way which I don't really want it. So sometimes spinning around to the front sort of really helps in that process of controlling it. So looking at it from different angles when you want to manipulate surfaces. It's getting pretty close to where I want it to be. So I'll round this one off a little bit. And I might just bring that slightly further forwards and up. Oh, pretty well where I want it to be. So I've got a bit more control through the center here, so I could potentially control click on these. just bring that in just a tiny bit. It doesn't have to be as thick as it is there. So it needs to be obviously 26mm at the back, but it doesn't need to be that at the front. So there we go. So give us a yell if you're working through this form stuff and you're really struggling to control your car. Of course, if I wanted to flatten out this nose and make it a bit wider, I could always do that. Could blend into my wings or something like that. Might do that. Might leave it like that. All right, so that's my form. I'm going to finish that form. Turn off all these sketches because they're just sort of hard to see what I'm doing now. When I finish that, what I've got is what's called a surface. Now, it's not a solid object. It's got no thickness to it. It's just a flat surface floating there in the air, and it's not a solid part. So to make it solid, you need to go to the surface tools and use the patch to close the back end. We'll spin it around to the front and we'll put another patch on the front. And now we're like a tin can, so we've got a still hollow inside, but we've got a lid on the top and on the bottom. So all we have to do from here is stitch these up. That's the body I want to stitch together. I want to stitch the lid on it. I want to stitch the bottom on it. Get these green rings, which suggest that it's all sealed up. And when you click OK, we now have a body, you can see, which can be cut extruded and all that good stuff. So it's solid through if I wanted to grab something, a circle, head back to the solid environment. This will cut out of a solid body. So now you don't just have to make your body like this, or you have to make your body like this, but you can make any part on your car like this. You can make it out of multiple forms. It's a really nice way to create really organic and really really unique sorts of shapes. Now, once you've done it, obviously it's not fixed, it's not set in stone. You can always come back and double click on your form once you're not in a sketch. Double click on your form and you can modify it. So you can come back in and go, well, I actually want this to be a bit flatter through here. So I could stretch it out wider, or I could pinch it and add a bit more of a, a ridge through the center of it, something like that. So I might try to create that. And as soon as I hit finish form, my lids go back on, my patches go back on, and my stitching goes back on, and it just goes back to how it was before I did that. Really powerful tool, can create really organic sorts of forms, and can really step up your modelling game and your racing game.